Greetings and welcome to the auditing class. Today we are going to discuss the features of audits or characteristics of audits or attributes of audit. Now, the key features of audits include one, that an audit is a systematic process. Systematic process. That is the first feature. One, systematic process. Okay, you recall we defined audit or auditing as a systematic and independent. It is a systematic and independent examination of the financial records to ascertain their accuracy, fairness, and if they comply with the regulatory requirements. So auditing is a systematic process. Audits flow, there are various stages. When you say systematic, it means areas, the auditing process follows a structured and organized approach guided by professional standards and methodologies. And later on, we shall be studying the international standards on auditing. So auditing is a process that follows a structured and organized approach that is guided by professional standards and methodologies. And that ensures that the audit is conducted in a consistent and thorough manner. We will be looking into the audit process as we progress. We'll learn that auditing takes a certain approach process, systematic process. That's the first feature. The second feature is that audits are independent. An audit is an independent examination of the financial information or records of an organization. Independence is a feature. Auditors are independent. Auditors maintain independence from the organization they are auditing. That's why auditors are appointed by the owners and not the managers. And that independence is very important to ensure objectivity and impartiality in the assessment. And that is crucial for maintaining credibility and the reliability of their audit reports. An auditor ought to be independent of the management. And to ensure the auditor's independence, the auditors are appointed by the owners and not the management of the company. So independence is a key feature of audits. The third feature is that audits are evidence-based. Evidence-based. They are based on evidence. Auditors have to gather sufficient and appropriate audit evidence to support their conclusions. And this evidence may include financial records, may include documentations. They may have to carry out interviews. Auditors, in seeking evidence, they can interview the workers, they can interview the management, they can interview the suppliers, they can interview the data, they can carry out interview. In order to gather this evidence, they may also gather evidence through observation. They may observe processes within the company in order to understand the company better and make appropriate conclusions. They may also carry out analytical procedures to gather evidence. So before the auditor gives his opinion on the fairness and the accuracy of the financial statements, an auditor has to gather appropriate, sufficient audit evidence. Opinion is based on evidence. The fourth feature is professional judgment. Professional judgment. Professional judgment. Auditors use their professional judgment to interpret evidence, to assess risks, and also make informed decisions throughout the audit process. And that requires combination of technical expertise, it requires combination of experience and also ethical considerations. So in carrying out their function, auditors have to rely on their professional judgment, which is derived from their experience, from their technical expertise, and ethical considerations. 5. Risk assessment is a feature of audits. Auditors assess the risks of material misstatements in the financial statements, and that helps them to focus their efforts on areas where there are risks of errors or fraud and so on. So auditors have to carry out assessment of risk in different areas. It could be the internal controls, they could assess risks in, say, assets or any other aspect of the organization in order to know where they should focus more in the process of auditing, such that if there are areas that are not prone to risk, then they will not focus on such areas, but they may likely to carry out more tests in aspects like inventories and management of cash, where risks are likely to be higher. So auditing involves risk assessment. 6. Internal control. There is an aspect of internal control evaluation. Evaluation of internal controls. Auditors evaluate the effectiveness of an organization's internal control system, which is designed to prevent and deter errors and fraud. The internal controls are put in place by the management, and the purpose for having internal controls in management in the company is so that the assets of the company can be safeguarded. So when auditing, an audit will have to evaluate the internal control system of an organization. Auditors have to evaluate the effectiveness of the internal control system. The internal control system is developed by the management, but the auditors have to evaluate if the internal control system is effective. And an effective internal control system is one that prevents errors, the one that prevents fraud, the one that ensures that the company's assets are safeguarded. And that helps them to assess the reliability of financial statements and also identify potential weaknesses in the system. 7. Reporting is a feature of audits. Auditors communicate their findings and conclusions in an audit report, which includes an opinion on the fairness of the financial statements. Auditors, after examining the financial statements, they have to do a report within which they express an opinion as to the fairness of the financial statements. And the report may include recommendations for improving internal controls. It may also include aspects of the organization's operation. So reporting is a feature of audits. An audit must have a report at the end of the process. Another feature is that audits must comply with standards. Compliance with standards. Auditors have to comply with standards. Audits are conducted in accordance with professional standards, such as the international standards on auditing. Auditors do not carry out audits based on what they think. No, they are guided by standards. To conduct an audit of a company, there are standards that have to be adhered to by the auditor, such as the international standards of auditing, which provide guidance on audit procedures. They provide guidance on quality control. They provide guidance on ethical considerations. Remember, we say that, first of all, auditing is a systematic process. This process is provided by the standards. The standards dictate how an audit is to be conducted. Compliance with standards. You understand? So these are the key features. There are more other features which can be cited, like the continuous improvement. Auditors strive for continuous improvement in their work, both individually and as a profession. And that involves staying up to date with changes in accounting standards, staying up to date in changes in regulations, changes in technology, and so on. Another additional feature is in relation to value addition. And because candidates, while the primary objective of an audit is to provide assurance on the financial statements, auditors also aim to add value to the organization by identifying areas of improvement and providing recommendations for enhancing efficiency and enhancing effectiveness. So these are key features of audits. One, an audit is a systematic process. Number two, independence. Number three, evidence-based. Number four, professional judgment. Number five, risk assessment. Six, internal control evaluation, reporting, and compliance with standards. Assignment one. What are the key characteristics of a systematic audit process? 2. Explain the importance of independence in auditing and how it is maintained. 3. Describe the role of professional judgment in the audit process. What is the purpose of risk assessment in an audit and how does it influence the audit process? How does it influence the audit procedure? Thank you for attending the lesson. In our next session, we are going to discuss the distinction between auditing and accounting. Bye.